Tribe, this is medicine for me. Hitting that play button is medicine for me. Today's video is dedicated to Pop. A star has ascended and is now in traveling mode back to source energy. I don't take that lightly. You have set the bar high for the word husband, the word father, the word granddad. You've set the bar high. You gave me an idea on what it looked like to be a steward over your family, walking in masculinity but not bravado. Watching you is how I started writing about what it looks like when a man shows up in his masculinity but not his bravado. You have set the bar high. Thank you for being a representation for me, a little brown girl from North New Jersey who didn't have that sort of representation and that capacity. I'll look up in the sky at night to see if I see your star traveling. You are a legend, and I'll carry you in my spirit forever and always. This video is dedicated to Pop. This video is dedicated to my subscribers who are running thick and are the reason why I come back to make this video and all the other videos that I keep coming back to make. Because when somebody is in the comments, I know that there's another person on the side of this video, and that gives me strength to go on in spite of. Because life has been life and honey. I was telling my son yesterday, since 2019 to 2022, I have lost 19 people. And when I say lost, I am not talking about lost as if they need to be found. I'm talking about their spirits have left their bodies and they have transitioned onward and upward. Okay? Onward and upward. And not being able to deal with them in the physical is a process. Because now, and even if you are a guru, if you are a teacher, because guru means teacher, okay, if you're a teacher, if you are a minister, a pastor, a bishop, you understand the circle of life, so you know that it is inevitable. But there's still a process for all of us of understanding that the assignment for that person is now complete. And Pop, I am sure the Most High God is more than pleased. And to the remaining 18, I'm encouraged and inspired daily knowing that you are rocking with me. You're behind me, protecting me on the rest of my journey, which I will never know is the end point. I don't take it lightly. Thank you, Tribe, for being here and giving me an outlet to move energy. Today's video is about the Boar. Elder Eden wanted women to understand that just because you like someone, it doesn't mean that they are going to like you too. And when all the women came to the compound to be taught by Elder Eden, she wanted them to know that just because you like someone, it doesn't mean they're going to like you too. Just because you want someone doesn't mean they're going to want you too. Just because you're in love with someone doesn't mean that they are at that space too. Rejection is a part of the mating process. Rejection is a part of mating. But today in the Western world, we don't teach women that. Neither do we teach men. We don't teach women that, and so every time they are rejected, they believe it's them. And so now they are a little bit less themselves every time they are rejected. And so when they are facing the world, they are facing the world with a little less of their own face. because they have started to see that the rejection is about, they started to believe that the rejection was about them. And on the flip side of that, the men, they have not been taught that rejection is a part of the mating process either. And so every time they are rejected, they are a little more skeptical and on guard and are loving from a space of fear, just as well as women. So we end up having both men and women who are too afraid to love completely, to be completely, and to mate completely, because there's a bit of skepticism, because no one taught them or told them the ways of Elder Eden, the wisdom of the huts. The wisdom of Elder Eden, the wisdom of the huts, it says you are going to be rejected. It is a part of the mating process. It is a part of the mating process on one hand. And on the opposite side of that, it is the failure of an elder teaching you whom to mate with. The elder says that not every man is for every woman. Hence why there are going to be some people that you love that just does not love you back. Because you weren't clear on who your target was. Because you don't understand that compatibility is necessary for longevity. It's not about, oh, I feel. Well, it is your feelings that is going to get you into a position of feeling more and more rejected by the world. And that is going to wear on you, my loves. The elder is saying, be more deliberate in your mating process. Who you choose. Be more deliberate. Now, are you going to get it right 100% of the times? Absolutely not. But it will be more rewarding when you do. The good will outweigh the bad when you do. And the more you learn to do it, the more refined you get, and you become like a tiger, laser eye, or an eagle. Eagle eye. When you see your target, you will know him. When you see your target, you will know him. But if you know that you are a woman who enjoys being, romanced, but you fall in love with someone who doesn't like romance, the compatibility is not there. Love without compatibility is going to be a struggle. Love without compatibility is going to be a struggle. Romance without compatibility is going to be a struggle. Someone's going to leave feeling empty and depleted and pushed aside or disregarded, unfulfilled, frustrated, angry even. But when we have these conversations around the bonfire and we give our daughters the talking sticks, and the talking stick passes around from woman to woman to woman to woman about their experiences, and then the elders in the middle teaching, and for those hearing ears who hear, they can then, of course, change their lives based on what they have now learned. But no one's talking about it from that perspective. Okay? No one's telling women you are going to be rejected. No one's telling men you are going to be rejected. You are going to be misused and used. It's a part of the mating process. The process of eliminating who is best for you is going to be tough when you don't know what you're looking for. I'm going to challenge you in this video. Know what the heck you're looking for. You're talking about the boar. Okay? You must know your target. The boar. The boar would allow a free thinker. He encourages independence. He is the only personality trait for a woman like you, a Saah. What did Elder Eden mean by that? Well, a Saah is the highest level of the expression of femininity, feminine energy, feminine power, feminine presence. When Asana shows up, the whole room and atmosphere shifts. So she's the highest version of that. And the only man that's going to work with a woman like Asana is a man who is not shadowed by that. So when she said the Boar will allow a free thinker, it's because Asana is a free thinker. Okay? She's not a whatever you like, or whatever you like, whatever you like. That's not Asana. Asana is not going to go with, what is popular, the popular way of thinking, because she's a free thinker. Okay? She thinks, she uses her brain power to think in a more logical way than emotional. Okay? A lot of people are regurgitating what they heard already without thinking whether or not that is something that they truly identify with. So with the Boar, he allows a free thinker, and Asana is a free thinker. Okay? He's the only personality trait for a woman like you, Asana. He will protect you if necessary, but will give you enough space to fly. I think a lot of what these guys are calling modern day women, what they don't understand is that the women that they're looking for, they don't identify with. Okay? Because they shouldn't. Those women are way out of your league. Compatible? No. Beautiful? Yes. But if it's out of your league, you must know that, and you got to be honest with yourself, okay? So, are there more women? I don't want to give too much away because that's from the new book, but let me backtrack, okay? The Boar. There are not a lot of men who are Boar out there. This is what the elder is teaching. So when we see men who are saying, modern women are this, they're terrible, they want this, 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 when in fact, what they need is a submissive woman. So most of them are what? Either the goat or the penguin. So a lot of these guys who have microphones and they're on these podcasts saying terrible things about women or saying women need to be put in their place, a lot of them are either the goat or the penguin. I'm going to lean towards the goat on this one, okay? Lean towards the goat. Because submissive is what their needs are. And that's okay. That's okay. But you have to line up with a woman that works for you. Just as well as there's not a lot of women out here who are, entrepreneurs or boss women or boss babes or boss this or boss that. But you got to get what you are compatible with, and don't just throw all of us in one pile, because the elder says for every man there's equally another woman for. But you got to open your eyes to see, right? And you also have to know who you are. Identify with who you are. Okay? There's not a lot of Boars out here, and I will tell you why there's not a lot of Boars. For a woman like you, son, he will protect you if necessary, but he will give you enough space to fly. The Boar is usually a male of great independence, assertiveness, and bravery. He's a logical thinker, a mover and a shaker. He's confident but loving. He's hard to find because he is rarely in groups and likes to travel alone. The reason why I said there's not a lot of Boars out here is because the Boars are not out in front of us. They don't want to be in front of a camera and a microphone and telling women how to find men. That's not the Boar. You know where you're going to find the Boar? The Boar is not online because he's not a follower. So you're not going to find the Boar in the same spaces as you're going to find the honeybee. You're not going to find the Boar in the same spaces as you're going to find the goat, because the personality types are far removed. You're not going to find the Boar at the club popping bottles, because that's not his thing. That's the honeybee. You're not going to find the Boar on TikTok pop locking and dropping it for likes. That's not his thing. So when I say there's not a lot of Boars out there, what I mean is out there. Remember, the honeybee is out there. The honeybee wants you to know that he's out there. The goat and the penguin, they're looking for their lady, right? But they also have strong opinions about them too. And they're looking for a very specific one, right? There are more followers in the world than we have leaders. And the Boar is a leader. He doesn't need all of that, right? If he's going to be doing that, it's for a very specific goal in mind, okay? He probably already has his woman, okay? His wife has already been locked down, and she's probably been locked down for a very long time, okay? That's the Boar. He doesn't need to have a group of men around him to solidify how, or to determine how solid he is. He's a solid man, okay? He doesn't need that. The Boar travels alone. You want to know where he's at? You want to know where the Boar is at? He's probably somewhere on an island sipping a Mai Tai, watching the water come up on the beach. He's chilling. Or he's probably somewhere creating something fantastic, okay? He's not loud and wrong. That's not the Boar, okay? So he's not going to be out in your face. So, darling, if you are a boss chick, a woman who is highly independent, a woman who wants to shine and be bright, shine bright like a diamond. If you are, I can be gaudy sometimes. I'm really loud sometimes. I live out loud. So, the Boar works best for me. I think I said this in the last video, right? And also because the Boar and I have a lot in common, okay? The places you'll find the Boar is probably the same places you'll find Karima. So I'm going to challenge you, women. Where do you find the men that you are looking for? If you want to find a man who's loud and wrong, he's not the Boar, okay? He's going to be out front. If you want to find a man who's a honeybee, he's going to be out front. If you want a man who's going to be going from woman to woman, to flower, that's the honeybee, right? The elder says that. And what does he look like? He's flashy and all that, right? What does the Boar look like? Very well-dressed guy. Extremely well-dressed. But you have to bump into him by chance. You have to be completely okay in your feminine, okay? And you can't be looking for him in the same spaces as you will find the other guys, because that's not where he's going to be. So when the elder says that he's rare, it's because people who are mating or who are looking for a mate, they are looking in the same spaces that you find everybody. You cannot find the Boar where you find everybody. You have to go where not everybody is at. And that's where you're going to find the Boar. Now, how do you know if you have a Boar on your first date, okay? How do you know that? He's probably going to pick a location where it's either, where he rented out the entire space for you guys for dinner, okay? There's a small island off of the coast of Savannah. Maybe he rented out that space for you guys, okay, for the weekend. You're going to know the Boar because he's going to feel like quality. He's going to not only feel like quality. It's like, you know how they say there's a lot of bosses in the room until a real boss shows up? That's the Boar. But even if he shows up in the room, he doesn't like all of that jibber jabber, he doesn't like all of that, right? But you're going to know him because you're going to feel him. He's going to feel completely different, okay? He's going to let you shine. When he picks you up and he comes to your door and he gets you, he's probably going to twirl you around so he can get a full look at you. He's probably going to compliment you and say, "My goodness, you look amazing. I love your outfit." He's going to say, "I love your outfit." Okay? If you're wearing a scent or a fragrance that smells good, he's probably going to say, "What are you wearing? It smells amazing." And the next day or the second day, he's probably going to bring you another bottle of that same thing. That's how you identify the Boar. If you are paying attention very early on, you can really understand who you are with, who you're dating, okay? You're not going to find the Boar at the hookah lounge because there's too many people there, remember? He's not a follower, he's alone, okay? It doesn't mean that people don't know him, darling, because trust me, they do. And not only do they know him, but they respect him, okay? When he comes into a space, everybody knows his name. But he's not always around, always around. You know those guys who are always around, always in your face? They need to be seen. They got their sunglasses on. They're loud and wrong. That is not the Boar. Okay? The Boar is that sexy back of the club, smoking on his cigar, observing the atmosphere, well dressed, smells amazing. He has a watch on because a man with a watch is worried about time, or, not worried about time, but conscious of time, okay? He has a watch on. It's going to be a really, really nice watch, but it's not going to be blinged out, okay? Because he understands that um, luxury and quality is not always loud, right? So his watch is going to be nice and subdued, okay? He's going to have that silk pocket square in there if he has one, okay? He's going to smell amazing, but he kind of just fades into the background, right? And then when he leaves, he tips handsomely because he's a gentleman. He's the ultimate gentleman. He's not full of bravado. He's the ultimate gentleman. And then when he leaves, he tips handsomely and he glides out. He doesn't overstay his welcome. He's not there too long, just chatting it out with everybody. He's the kind of guy that says, "How you doing, man? Good to see you. How you doing? How's your kids? Good to see you." But he keeps it moving. That's the Boar. Now that you know who the Boar is, okay? Now that you know who the Boar is, I'm going to challenge you to go back to your books, page 89, and reread. By the way, you guys, do you guys remember? Can we put a picture of this guy up here? Do you guys remember the video I did with Keisha Cole and him, and I said that he was the honeybee? Do you guys see that he's wearing a honeybee necklace? Ugh, I didn't see that. He's blatantly telling women, "I'm the honeybee." Man, I couldn't make it up if I tried. I couldn't make it up if I tried, darling. Couldn't make it up if I tried. The man is wearing the honeybee necklace. And what did the elder say? The elder says the honeybee wants you to know he's a honeybee, right? This guy has his billboard on telling women, "I'm the honeybee." And for any woman who falls for him, I'm just going to say, God, that is going to be a terrible sting, darling. Okay? Until next time, I want you to stay high vibration, regardless of the circumstances. Understand that this life that we are living is not promised to us. When the assignment is done, what you want for the Most High to say is, "Job well done."